There's something about the water that's just magical to me. You can just go underwater, everything is quiet. That's like true peace. Slowly submerging yourself, it just feels like the world or anything negative in it doesn't exist anymore. I found that and I grabbed it. It was the 1992 Olympics. I was 10 years old at the time. I was watching this one swimmer, her name was Summer Sanders, and I was just like locked in. Like, whatever I need to do, I want to be her.
Shortly after her entering into my group, I recognized that she had some skills that might lend themselves to being an Olympic champion.
I had never heard of her until 1996. She walks out at the Olympic trials. She's, 14 years old, I think. I'm going, who is this punk kid?
I didn't think much of it. I was kind of naive to everything and just, yeah, I swim, I love what I do.
And then she makes the Olympic team. And I'm going, holy smokes.
The rest of the swimmers, they're like, how is this little girl beating us?
Yeah, when Amanda walked out to the blocks, she literally had a teddy bear. And I just thought it was so cute. That cuteness totally went away when she dove in the water. It was like, it's this animal, this like shark.
At 14, I won 2 silvers and a gold at that Olympics.
The time she put up in 1996 as a 14-year-old still hold up today, 30 years later.
I wasn't until I came home from the 96 Olympics, that's when everyone started to treat me a little bit differently.
That period of time was so stressful because everybody wanted to talk to her and meet her and get to know her and write articles about her. And she was just going into her freshman years in high school and trying to find your place. And on top of that, she's got this stigma, you're an Olympic swimmer.
I remember one person asked me in an interview, they're like, how's it feel to lose?
I never say lost the gold. You always say win the silver. I don't care if you're Michael Phelps or Amandabeard, to win a silver medal is unbelievable.
Being a young, naive 14-year-old, when an adult tells you something like that, like how's it feel to lose, you believe them. You're like, oh, I did lose, I lost. Then you start to kind of almost not feel proud. I felt like I had to prove myself constantly because all these people would come to watch me swim and I was like, I gotta do something amazing or else I'm failing. If you look back at footage from there, I'm 5'2", I'm like 95 pounds, I'm teeny tiny. And I went through puberty after that. So I went from 5'2" to 5'8", 95 pounds, like 120, 125 pounds. So my swimming kind of tanked. I felt like every time I dove in the pool, I wasn't me.
From about 15 to like 18, 19, 20, she's not improving her times, and she just kept fighting through it.
One of our hikes, we were in Sabino Canyon. We're having a beautiful day, and she's a little teary-eyed. And I said, what's happening? She said her sponsor wanted her to lose 10 pounds, and she had 3 weeks to do it. And it was heartbreaking.
I started with eating disorders when I was 15 years old. I started cutting when I was 17 years old. These emotions that I didn't know how to verbalize or how to deal with correctly, and I would just like, my fingers would just start rubbing like this, and then I would catch myself, I'd be digging into my hand with my fingernails, and then I'd be bleeding, and I wouldn't go like, oh no, what did I do? Like, it'd be like this calming release.
Afterwards, I said, I'm so sorry, and I didn't know these things were in your mind, what was going on. And she kind of laughed at me. She says, I didn't tell you. You didn't know because I didn't want you to know.
I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. As an athlete, I felt like, no, that's a sign of weakness.
I mostly was like, okay, are you okay? You know, because what do you say? What do you do? Sasha did it right. He gets all the points for that.
You know, when I met Sasha, my husband, he's the one that really kind of discovered like how dark my kind of life and chapter was in those moments. It was in the middle of like a fight, and I locked myself in our bathroom, and he was knocking on the door, and finally like I went and opened it, and I had like a washcloth on my arm, and I cut myself pretty good that time, and so I had quite a bit of blood, and he was like, okay. I thought, great, I just lost this guy. I scared him. And he didn't run away. He was like real with me of like, we can't be together and have a family if we can't find a way to live a healthier path. And he went to therapy sessions with me, but he was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you straight, girly, which is what I needed. I was clinically diagnosed with depression and just really came to terms with the reality of the life that I was leading. I'd go see a therapist, and I was, you know, doing whatever routines or meditation or whatever I was doing, and I didn't feel better. Like, it didn't feel good. A lot of the healing process was me being frustrated that I wasn't feeling better. You know, like, I want results. I'm an athlete. I want results. And I don't think I really felt like I got a better grasp on who I was in life till I was probably 30 years old. So it was quite a journey.
She never really talked a lot about her experience at a very young age. We were about what we were going to do from the moment she came to Arizona moving forward. So my job was to just get her back in love with the sport and in love with a culture that she could see herself moving forward with.
I was really nervous just because like Frank had a reputation for being like a pretty intense coach. So I was like, I don't know what I just got myself into.
When we connected during her senior year in high school, I just saw something in her. I felt like there was more. At first was, okay, Amanda, you're really talented. You probably don't still believe that, maybe. All I need for you is just plug in.
I don't think there was a specific turning point where I was like, yeah, like I'm a healthy version of myself. But 2000 rolled around, I was not supposed to go to that Olympics at all. I was not seeded to make it. I went to Sydney. I ended up winning the bronze medal from an outside lane. I know it was bronze, you know, but everyone that kind of made fun of the silver medals, I was like, I'm back, let's do this. It was one of those like moments where I felt like, I can do this. I can figure out how to get back on top again.
It just takes moments like that for kids to see that I'm all in now. I'm bought in.
I don't want to say like, I was better. I don't wake up every single day being super happy and cheerful, but I definitely have discovered being a little bit more grateful and appreciative of my opportunities. 2004, I was 22 at the Athens Olympics. I won a gold and 2 silvers at that Olympics.
In this race in Athens, she was behind 3/4 of the race. I was a little excited, thinking, okay, come on, Amanda, come on, show me. She swam back the last 50 and won the race, so she was spectacular.
I mean, she made 4 Olympic teams, and that qualifies my book as one of the GOATs.
A lot of elite athletes say have a tough time being successful coaches because it came so easy to them. It came easy to her for a period of time. Then it became really difficult and dark, but she got through it. And now I think she can share that experience with athletes to get them through the bumps and grinds that accompany elite level swimming.
So to watch Amanda take that course to coach athletes at a high level, it's very, very rewarding. I just think coaching's a privilege. All those different personalities turn us into who we are.
They trust me to be there for them, And that was really big for me with my coaches, was like, I trusted my coaches so much.
I'm just so proud of her never quitting, never giving up.
She's one of the best athletes I've ever coached.
Amandabeard is on Mount Rushmore of the greatest female breaststrokers in history.
You can always go to an Olympic medal performance, go, oh, that was great, but it's watching her always striving for the best out of herself. That's probably the monument to her career is never quitting, never giving up.